Ladies and gentlemen,
get your goddamn hands off of me, nigga!
You wild.
Oh, so because this Black Panther, you want to come in hot like that?
You
That's
wild.
what you want to do. you just want to start off with.
You wild.
Yeah.
And just like a nigga, that's why his internet went shifty and he fucking froze.
Man, you come straight out of Wakanda.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Straight Outta Comic Book. I am your host, Will Pharaoh. And of course, I got the fellas with me. Prince Deuces. Did I say it right?
Yep, Prince Deuces.
CTisDope is here, and of course Dion, Black Panther, and as well as me, your boy Will Moore, in the building. If you haven't caught on to it, we are talking about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It is out. If you haven't seen it, we about to spoil the shit out of this movie. So you should go watch some of these other ones. You know, Wakanda Forever always.
Forever,
so just letting y'all know, we about to spoil it. So if you ain't went seen it, and if you black ain't went seen it,
seen.
Yeah. I had to go real black. If you ain't went seen it yet,
You ain't went seen it.
You ain't went seen it yet.
Now here's the thing, bro. Dion, Will, and myself went to go see it last Thursday. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Today, like before the show, I watched the Easter eggs and like, you know, what are they gonna be, you know, potentially doing in the future. And I cried a little bit because it made me miss Chadwick even more, bro. Yeah. And that's something that now I realize after, you know, 2.5 years is not going to go away. This man impacted us. He touched us, and he was born to play the king of Wakanda. Out of every role he's done, you know, 42 when he played the judge. I keep doing this too. Thurgood Marshall when he played James Brown. Then playing T'Challa, which is a fictional character. He was born to play this fictional character.
Jackie Robinson?
More than anything. Yes, Jackie Robinson. This fictional character was greater than anything because he represented a future and a grandiose hope for what we can become.
Yeah. They were supposed to do a sequel to Thurgood Marshall called Fourth Good Marshall. But, you know, that had to happen, man, you know.
I'm out, bro.
after how eloquent he just put that, really,
Dion is hot today.
You a Black Panther for real tonight. That's, you coming in hot with it.
You are a nigga cat. That's what you are to see. You understand me?
Hey, why you playing though? They had them in real life. I get one. If I saw it in the pet store, we got the bigger cats in back. If you want to check.
Y'all are re-upped. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, y'all got some fresh niggas in there. Okay.
Braces on it. Okay.
So here's the thing, bro. When I look at the movie, man, and we've talked about this. This is, of course, for us three. A lot of this is going to be us saying what we said in person on camera. But Ryan Coogler. Round of applause, bro. Round of applause for Coogler. He did the impossible. He had so much working against him, and that showed how brilliant this man is to have been able to even compose a story that will handle the real life passing of Chadwick Boseman, the character passing of T'Challa, and then how you're going to get Shuri into the Black Panther costume and make us want to see her as Black Panther. And then on top of that, you done killed Angela Bassett. What the
man?
Fuck? And we definitely gonna get into that. We are gonna get into that. Yes. But I couldn't agree with you more, man. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. What I noticed was two things that he did that he showed Hollywood as well. One, you can get a complete curveball thrown at you, especially with the passing of this, and to be able to bounce back and give us something so great like Wakanda Forever. Now, I don't know why Josh Whedon couldn't do that with Justice League, but for some reason, you know, when it's white, it didn't go right. So, you know, maybe you should bet on black moving forward. Secondly, another thing he did was, I love how something me, Dion, and CT had brought up was this did not feel like a Marvel movie. And
Right.
I think that's what Eternals tried to do, but didn't really capture it. He captured this so well. This did not feel like a Marvel movie. This felt like just one of those big budget films that you got to be able to do whatever you want to, and you told a story beautifully.
Mm-hmm. You know why it felt like that, bro? It felt like that because Ryan Coogler, I truly hope he gets an Academy Award for this film for screenplay.
Yeah.
Because, dude, first of all, Love and Thunder. I'm not gonna do that to them. All right, so for every other Marvel movie,
don't do that. Oh, no.
For every other Marvel movie we've seen this year, with the exception of Spider-Man: No Way Home, it's been lacking. You know what I mean? And for this man to do everything that he did with everything working against him to create a story that gave us laugh, action, story being progressed, tears, and joy is the mark of an incredible writer, not just a comic book writer. This guy is brilliant, man, and he needs his flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, they got the death before they started writing the script, so it's different.
No, that's not the truth. He wrote the script and he had it finished, and he was giving it to Chadwick to read. And then before he got back, before he spoke to Chadwick again, like a couple weeks later, Chadwick passed away. So the script
shot the film, I would say.
Before you said before no, so
okay, you're right. Sure, I didn't know this. Before they shot the film, so it wasn't like they were midway through like Justice League.
No,
you had to figure things out.
So he wrote it, had to rewrite a whole different thing because of this.
Yeah. And then also keep in mind though, you're in a universe, so you also now have to keep all of that stuff in mind too. Like Justice League,
honestly, Black Panther can work on his own.
And it showed that. It
really don't fit in the universe like that. It's not like we gotta watch Black Panther to be in the Marvel, because none of those characters from the Marvel universe is actually translated over except Agent Ross. That's the only person is from a different part of the universe. Everybody else in there is just its own entity.
Julia, if I'm being honest, as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because they did enough that, like, if it was just these two movies solo, Black Panther and Wakanda Forever, like it'll be okay. But they did enough for like, hey, but if you really want to tie in some stuff, we can still tie in, and it fits perfectly without messing up the continuity of anything, right? It's kind of like how like Static was, like when Static before like DC started really adapting them, Static was doing enough where they was like creating where it's like, look, we can just be Static, but if y'all want to include us in what y'all doing, y'all can, and this is how we can make it tie in.
Coogler's moving like he on Sony. Like he is Spider-Man. Why ain't y'all take this nigga out? We still good.
Yo, because they did. Like, because for me watching it, I was like, you basically made it to where we don't need to see Wakanda again. Like, that's how good you made this. One, you completely shitted on everybody in the first 10 minutes. Like, you toppled the world government in 10 minutes of this movie. Like, do y'all realize, like, did none of them come mess with them after that? It was just like Louis Dreyfus and Agent Ross, and they were just like, yo, we're going to go attack them. And he like, I don't do that.
That was a big joker. They pulled out their big joker, and they was like, nah, fam, that ain't enough. Like, y'all can do that, but that ain't enough.
Like, they literally showed, like, yo, we not going over there and messing with them. Like, it's good.
Why you going over there messing with them people, huh? I told you about that.
Get your ass back in
the car.
No.
But the way that they opened it, like, one, they hit you with emotion straight out the gate. Because I was thinking, I'm like, all right, that was the big question. How are they going to show the death? Like, what is going to happen in that moment? And for them to start with like silence and just have that moment of Shuri talking to Bast, and then going into it and just seeing the panic, and then going straight into like the way that they did the Marvel logo. And it was like, I was like, yo, like, already.
Let's address that real quick though. When you say he talked, she spoke to Bast. That changes things after Love and Thunder, because now we have seen Bast is a real person, it's a real guy. And this is one of the things that in the Easter egg joint that you'll see, they show a quick screenshot of Bast in Love and Thunder. She's a purple a god, and she is, interesting outfit that they gave her, but she is a real god. So knowing that this is a real god and that she didn't spare him is like, this, I wouldn't mind seeing Bast fight a Black Panther.
But also, let's keep in mind though too with that also may have been her avatar, because remember, Moon Knight showed us that some of these gods take avatars to go as a representation for them.
But can I applaud Coogler for using what happened in the first movie by Killmonger killing off the flowers? To give him he used that to heal T'Challa, so she couldn't recreate the healing powers for him. So it was brilliant. Yeah, because she's like, I don't even know how to recreate this. So she's like, I'm gonna get just as good as I can, close as I can get to it to heal him. But like, he's already gone. Yeah. So but a brilliant way to implement an actual disease that he actually had. Don't even talk about what it really is. It was a tribute to like what he actually has, but we're not gonna say specifically.
Yeah. And I was gonna say to what CT said, it really also gave Shuri's drive. Because remember, throughout the whole thing, she was like, she didn't believe in this stuff. At that point, she lost faith in the whole Wakanda lore, Bast, and all of that. So like, it was really like to have that moment be the moment that I'm focused on science and technology, because I know that I can count on that, because I can't count on the gods. Like it was really dope how they tied that all together,
dude. And for her to recreate the heart-shaped herb, she had to have gone and come in contact with Namor, because had she not, she would have still been at the 26%. And had he not given her the thing, first of all, you a rude ass chick for a motherfucker to give you a bracelet from his mother from 500 years ago. Take it off and create some other shit with it. Like, you wild.
So that's what I want to get into. So like, of course, like, but just to even share back before we do, how Deuce said, and even like Dion said, the no music at the beginning really set the tone. Like having like not even any background music, you could just feel the like, yo, we know this dude is gone, but it's like, yo, T'Challa sick? What? And like, we already knew that, but it's like, what? And so but then like how Dion said, to now see them using technology to go, let me see how we can recreate this. It's like, yo, I like seeing that, because then that now gives me more mind to, are they gonna try to remake the super soldier serum? Like, there's other things of like stuff that we've seen that get formulated that now we know, hey, it's possible, and Wakanda got that technology.
But if you start right there, this is why I don't. Well, first of all, they're always going to try and create a new super soldier serum. That's a fact. But I don't think it would involve the new heart-shaped herb, because nobody knows about that outside Wakanda. Even if you look at the first Black Panther, nobody who was involved in that story that lived knows anything about it. The other people who were outsiders died. So Wakanda was like, yeah, we got vibranium, but they ain't told nobody nothing about them herbs.
Yeah, true. That's true.
That's Agent Ross. He knows about it.
No, Agent Ross doesn't know about it.
He only knows about vibranium. That's what. So like the world, because remember, that's what the world is trying to get. They think vibranium is the big thing. Like, oh, we got to get vibranium. And though
imagine if he knew about the fucking herb. If he knew about the herb, the government would know about the herb, and they would want vibranium and the herb, because now they can have a whole army of Black Panthers. But since because now think about the first movie, Ross wasn't brought over to Wakanda during the first heart-shaped herb, and then by the time that T'Challa got the next heart-shaped herb, he wasn't remember Angela Bassett and Shuri and Okoye went over there to talk to M'Baku. So General Ross wasn't with them. So when she hit him with the herb, and even if he was, let's say, for example, playing devil's advocate, let's say he was with them when they went over to M'Baku, the mother, Angela Bassett, gives him this final heart-shaped herb because everything else is destroyed. So now when we go to the new movie, Shuri recreated this and nobody knows she recreated it. So that's even more reason that nobody would know.
Yeah, but now though, what does give me reason to think that they might find that out is because now that there's a connection I'm seeing because of Agent Ross now being in Wakanda and Dreyfus's character trying to find him. This is what makes me think it's going to be a plot of the Thunderbolts and them actually going to Wakanda.
Well, I don't think they're going to Wakanda. I think that they're going to go because remember she had the Okoye beads tapped, right? So she heard every conversation, and so she now knows about Namor and them, and I believe that that's what's going to end up happening. I feel like because she's now going to try to get this other civilization. It's like, look, we failed with Wakanda, but this one we probably can get. I feel like that's what they're going to.
No, but that's the thing too. That's what makes me think out of the two states of where you would want to go is Wakanda, because of the fact you don't know. Because again, you know where Wakanda technically is at. Nobody knows where Namor City is except Shuri. True. That's it. And so it's like the easiest way for them to get. And then too, remember they got the Winter Soldier. He's been there before. So who's for them to not blackmail him to force them to find a way in there to be able to retrieve that stuff, and then on top of that, finding out about the heart-shaped herb.
Yeah. Oh, they showing that you can't trust the whites, boy. That's what
man. Hey,
remember that arm is Wakanda's though. Remember how they took it off quickly?
They disarmed him so fast.
Yep. And then again too, like who's to say whatever they did to that dude's brain, something's still in there. Something is still like there's some list of words that can be said to him that's gonna make him stop.
Yeah, because you already know, like, I mean, most of the people who's been brainwashed has been tricked before. So that's all it's gonna take. Her character is just going to trick them again. She tricked Yelena already. She tricked, like I said, Winter Soldier already been tricked. Like all she's gonna do is just manipulate them again to get it. Now she has a whole team. I mean, Yelena's father is not the brightest tool in the shed, so it's like she has a team full of people that she can manipulate.
His is pride, so that's how she can manipulate him. Ghost isn't finding the cure for her, so that's how she can manipulate her. Yelena is the same thing, being sold back to the Red Ribbon Army and having to go back there. Same thing with Winter Soldier, and then if
Did you say Red Ribbon Army?
You definitely said Red Ribbon.
Did I say Red Ribbon?
Yes, I was like, that's Dragon Ball Z, bro.
That's Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah. Back to the red room, and then going back to the red room. But I can see
head go up. I'm like, he about to say it.
But I can see them doing that. But I do have to ask though, because I want to jump back into Namor. So we got to be introduced to the first mutant, but I got to be honest, and man, y'all just let me know. I feel like Namor wasn't Namoring enough in this movie.
It was nice though.
Hold on. Y'all seem like me on the same page. So let me speak my piece on this before. Because I do believe that he was more Namor than I thought he was going to be. Because so in the comics, I always thought Namor. I was like, I was not a big fan of Aquaman in general. So I thought Namor was even weaker than Aquaman, right? The wing feats I didn't like, but the way that they used it, allowing him to just like zip through, I was like, yo, they actually made him pretty beastie.
He was
more than I thought he was going to be. And so I was like, to me, he was more Namor than I thought, because I thought it was like the way that Family Guy clowns on Aquaman, that's how I always viewed Namor. So it was like my expectation was low for Namor. And then seeing just like, even the way he was threatening people, like I'm just like, bro, like the one thing that the Black Panther and Wakanda Forever both did is that they really had good villains. Because at some point I literally looked to the person that was sitting next to me like, hey, this nigga gotta go, man. Like, yo, he's doing too much. This nigga gotta go. And so like I was thoroughly surprised and happy with how they portrayed Namor in this.
I didn't like how Nakia got to the city so quickly unscathed.
Oh no! I gotta clear it up, because that's something me and Dion was talking about at the theater. So no, I figured that out, Dion. So she didn't get to the city. She got to that holding area where Riri was. That's not near the city, because remember, Namor took her down, and then they hit that current.
They had to hit the current. Yeah.
So she didn't make it there. She made it to their first location when they went underwater, where the flower was originally at.
I thought that same thing. Yeah.
Like, yo, she is not that good of a spy to sneak past all these people.
Well, that's what I said. I fuck with it because I was like in Black Panther, they made her seem like she was super beastie spy, but they didn't really show us any spy. So I was like, all right, they finally showed us why she's so beastie. Like she ain't called for no backup. She just said, all right, well, how you want me to do this? I got this. Let's go.
Look, man,
What type of suit was that? Because they was talking about this suit that I want to put into you, Shuri, will crush your skull if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you don't use it normally. But what type of normal suit she had on that when the water pressure gets close, it should have crushed her, right? Was that made of vibranium?
Yeah, but again, but I don't think they went that low underwater though. That's the thing. I don't think they went that far under from where they were. So that's the only thing I can think of. It's just they weren't that far underground.
And shout out to her being such a good spy to have even gotten there.
Yeah. To find that, because wasn't nobody trying to talk to her.
Hey, that lady was like, "Get the fuck out of here! I ain't talking to you."
But even to that thing, that's why I was just like, Namor had a Thanos-like attitude, but his plan and his attitude didn't match. Like Thanos seemed calculating because of what he was doing. It's like, yo, I'm doing this to, help us survive. Like he had a reason. Like Namor stuff was personal. Like he didn't like surface dwellers, but it was like I didn't see that hatred in your eyes. Like I saw, like, yo, like you seem like a cool dude. Like at one point, like I didn't say it to them, but I was like, yo, I light up with Namor, but like you trying to smoke? Like that's what Namor gave me, and I never saw like the wrath of Cuckoo Khan come out. And it, it's like I didn't see that. I was just like, Cuckoo Khan.
Gone. The feathers have been gone.
I didn't see that come out of him, but it was just like you see it with his fighting style. But it was just like, even like with Shuri, I'm like, bro, as old as you are, you should have fucked Shuri up. Like, honestly, Shuri shouldn't have had this on you.
Shuri is as smart as Riri. So when they had said, who made this machine, I need for you to get her and kill her. Then it was like, hey, she's just a little girl. We'll take her. It was like, I have another plan. Now it was like I want to take and kill all the. What was his plan? I want to kill all.
I'm gonna kill all the surface dwellers except y'all. Like so they can't. I'm gonna drown everybody so they can't come find our city. But we gonna keep y'all around. So you down? Like nah, I'm not.
I didn't like the switch of plan. And he was like, I like how y'all rock, but here I need y'all to be an ally. So we can kill all the surface dwellers.
What? So I didn't believe in the allyship. I still thought I'm like he only saying that so he can get rid of them. He's still gonna kill the Wakanda. Like in my eyes, he was like Marlo from The Wire. Like as soon as he came out, I was like, bro, you look sketchy as shit. Like even the way, like bro, as soon as he got to Wakanda, he was looking around like, hey, like you know how like the mafia. Like how they threaten people. Like, hey man, this a nice place, man. It'd be horrible if it got fucked up. Like to me, that's the vibes I got from him right off the bat.
But it didn't come out though. That's the thing. So it's like even like when he drowned the city, you drowned the city because they shot one person in your city, and you went drowned the whole city. Like where did that maniac come out at? And they didn't show that. It was just like. Bury your dead. You got a week.
His little goon was like, "Why'd you let that girl in here? Because you know if she's gonna call somebody down." He's like, "No, she's good. And then sure enough, it happened. But I do want to talk about that scene, Deuce, when she's like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "Wow." It was a city like this. You just ignore the threat. They got guns with him. Like,
because he know he beastie. He like,
here's the thing.
I ain't worried about that. Ask again. He said, "Wow." Anyway, because it's so arrogant.
That's not even just the arrogance. The arrogance comes one at the fact that he had his soldiers drop that weapon while he was talking to the queen, and they didn't even notice. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The second thing is how brilliant it was that everybody in Wakanda is fortified except the water. It's like that let us know the flaw in their entire plan, which is getting there from underwater, which nobody else had tried.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then too, like, because we already knew like the border tribe wasn't really fully put together no more because what's his face is in jail. But then that was too. It was like, didn't nobody bring up the river tribe? I was like, but she kept talking, and it's like, wait a minute, you should have no ideas, but how you go while you wasn't on alert and let this little fish dude come in? That's what we need to talk about. But it was like that. I just wish I would have saw him be more of an asshole. Like it was like you see him with the physical side, but it was just like his personality didn't do that the entire time. Like when M'Baku came to strike him, and he was just like, "Yeah, man. So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna make sure y'all attack here." So like I was saying, you gonna go do this way. I'm like, why is that not consistently there? It kept looking like when even at the end when the chick was like, I've been waiting all this time to fight with you. Yeah. Why'd you stop? And my first thought was, I was like, y'all need to overthrow this dude. Like he ain't fit to lead. Like I see what y'all want, and this is not your guy. This dude, he want to sit up here and paint.
But that's what's going to end up being like, because I forgot which one of them. There's somebody in his tribe that does challenge him, and it's that story. Same thing with Aquaman, where they say like you are not fit to run because you have flaws. Like his flaw is going to be he has this vision of them and Wakanda being a unit, right? And so they're going to look at that as a flaw, and that's how he's going to end up getting challenged. That's going to be his inner struggle. Like you have to.
Is there a Namor story coming out soon? It should be a Namor story because I would love to tap more into him.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Like they gave me a dual origin story movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which was cool because the way he formatted it was dope because it was like that could have been anybody. Like anybody going up against Wakanda. Like I'd have been okay with the US government being in place where Namor was in and that happening, or like the world going against them, or like that, or a different like space, like the people like the Shatari, if they want to introduce the Shatari with vibranium again for this story. Like it was a perfect format to include that. And so that's like how you said, CT, anybody could have made a great origin story for that slot. So I'm glad
two great origin stories because we got Riri too. Oh shit, she got an Iron Man suit.
That's the best line. That was the greatest moment.
That's the best line. Had the whole movie. That was the best line.
And they never showed that dude. They just used his voice.
Oh man, she got an Iron Man suit.
Because if after Iron Man is dead, that would be the natural reaction when you see another one. Like,
oh shit, she got an Iron Man suit.
That nigga came in hot. Oh shit, she got an Iron Man suit.
Bro, here's the thing. I loved, first, we know Riri was hella shoehorned in that movie, but I loved seeing the actress that they got to play Riri. Mm-hmm. I think because Iron Man is my number one favorite character in Marvel besides the Human Torch. And I feel like
before 2008?
Well, yeah, I've always been a fan of the Human Torch. The Human Torch as a character, bro, he's up there. Iron Man. I know, but I'm saying Iron Man, Human Torch.
I didn't know at all Marvel before 2008, he was your favorite character.
Iron Man? Yeah, I used to watch the Iron Man TV show in the 90s.
Wow.
Because
all the X-Men.
Well, I was never a real X-Men guy. Like X-Men to me, X-Men, mind you, I like X-Men now because I'm an adult and it's dark. But as a child, bro, I didn't really like dark stuff. Like even though I was watching Batman and I was watching a lot of DC stuff, the stuff that they showed on television was catered for children. So even the only thing that got through was the animated series of Batman because that was extremely dark. And I don't know how they found a way to. It's kind of like going to see a Disney movie now with kids. It's like they make it for adults more than kids, but as a kid, you're like, yeah, this is for us. So they kind of did that same thing with the animated series. Like watching it as a kid is completely different than watching it as an adult because you're like, this is way too dark to have been on kids' TV. So with Iron Man back in the 90s, I loved the story. I loved how he had a whole squad. Hawkeye was one of his sidekicks. Rhodey, which is War Machine, could have been his own dude, and as already being a big kid, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be like War Machine, right? So the Iron Man cartoon was so fire. So by the time that I heard that they were doing the movie, I was like, please don't let them mess this up. You know what I mean? But Human Torch, God bless Chris Evans because he's fire as Human Torch. He's the only reason that movie did a sequel. And here we are now looking at Namor and Black Panther and Riri Williams. I have such a love for Iron Man. I wanted to see her do the character a little differently. Like I get it's easy to do the quips and the puns and cuss and all of that, but I would have loved to have seen something that made me fall in love with her. And I think that'll happen in her series, but it didn't give me I'm not super invested in her character from watching her in a movie.
I think what may help will be the connection to Tony. I think the thing is right now it's kind of like this is a person that's built it outside of that. So it's kind of like an outsider making this thing. So it's just like, oh, a fan made a real life Iron Man suit and now has been called to be able to do this stuff and really go do it. Because like in the comic books, she's mentored by Tony. And then even to the point to where he makes himself like an AI of himself to where he assists her. So maybe even too, like she's able to track down like the walk into some kind, like path of Tony through like going to MIT, kind of trying to figure out how, because again, now she got to start with a Mach 3 now. So now because she's seen it as a real suit. So like, what's her next one? So I think being able to follow within his path, kind of learn about him a little bit and what made him Iron Man and what will make you Ironheart.
Is it wise or a waste of character if they bring him back as an AI?
Here's the thing. We already know Kevin Feige said we can't keep relying on the Iron Man trope.
Yeah.
He said that and that broke my heart.
He's just a voice. Like he's just like a
that's still be too much.
I'd rather Jarvis. I'd rather get Jarvis.
Well, and we can't do Jarvis anymore because that is literally Vision. So it's Friday, if anybody.
Friday would have to be.
So here's what I think that this movie did though to what CT was saying, because the way that they kind of position Riri Williams is that like she really wasn't taking even her tech like in a serious matter. She was doing it for money. Like she had this stuff that she was doing that they hinted at her story a little bit, but like she was selling stuff on campus. Like it was just I'm just smart. I can do this. Let me make a quick buck, right? I think seeing what happened in this movie and the seriousness of it, I think going away from it, she realizes like I just can't be creating tech out here, and that's what's going to ground her and get her to more like comic book accurate, where she has a purpose. She's now using her technology for a better purpose, for good, not just for a quick buck here and there. And I think that that's what's going to build her character and get you to more love her about it. At least that's what I hope.
Well, also too, like how you said that, like her going back, so like her having a series now, I think too that'll make us attach to her a little bit more, because now you have to go back and people know what happened. Like people like around you don't know, but these eyes that you were scared of know what you can do. And it's like, what else? Now she also has to deal with that professor. And it's like, who is this professor that's selling your ideas to the government? And it's how's he connected? And
they didn't put a face on him, did they?
No, they didn't put a face. I don't even think they did a name for him and stuff like that. So who is this person that's selling her ideas and getting paid off of it?
That was one of the things. It's like, I don't know how they're going to sprinkle. First of all, God bless Ryan Coogler. I don't know how they're going to do X-Men, but this is the second mention of a mutant. Different wise, because Ms. Marvel, all right, cool, she's a mutant. But Namor, for him to have been around 500 years, and for him, peep this, to have been hidden from the surface world. For him, his biggest thing was like, hey, let me tell you something. If you tell anybody about me, I'll kill you. I'll kill everybody around here. Don't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? That made me laugh, because I'm like, he cares more about his secret identity and the secretness of his people than anything else. He doesn't care if you tell them somebody killed him, but don't you tell them that I killed him, because you've been trying to be secret, which also goes back to Thanos in a sense, because Thanos is thinking about everybody in the world. I almost want to go back and hear his speech on how he wanted to get half of the Earth's population. So if he's thinking about the Earth's population, in his mind, maybe it's only known population compared to, the unknown, which is Namor. And if Namor is unknown, that makes you think, why did the rest of the mutants not, like, how have they been hidden? Because now you're allowing me to think they've been here the whole time. So Namor, he did that with Namor, and then you look at the mutant category in general, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Namor is a mutant who has this ability to basically have the entire water world. So this is what he's serious about. So when you see Wakanda and you see Ironheart, it makes you think of the Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom, because didn't Doom go to MIT?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Her professor probably that's what I was hoping. My one biggest critique about this is that I came in expecting that we was gonna get a Doom tease, and I was like, I figured her professor was going to be, when they said it, I said, oh, at the end, watch the professor end up being Doom, but then they didn't give us no second credit thing. I was like,
or another twist, it could be Reed Richards
selling her information though.
Yeah, that's the only part.
But again, too, this could be at the point where him and Doom are still working, and Doom is the one selling it, because remember how that hierarchy they had. So remember, Doom was over them and working for them, and so he might be the one selling them, and he's the one that's looking and seeing this great tech. But I think Ironheart might be the one that's going to introduce us to something Fantastic Four. I don't think it's going to be Doom. I think it might either be Reed Richards or Sue Storm. I think we might get to see one of them first, but I feel like Ironheart and like how CT said, Ryan Coogler set up was now that bridge of us getting ready for the Fantastic Four.
You know what? CT said something that made me think about it too. With Thanos, with his speech, like the whole reason why he was saying that we're running out of resources, right? Now, Namor and his people, they're underwater. They're not using the resources that everybody else is using, right? So, like you said, now I'm thinking about exactly what CT said, because I'm like, okay, how does that play? If this civilization is not using the resources that is being depleted, then then they're not really adding to the problem on why Thanos want to snap away the world, because they have this, like you said, they have unlimited underwater resources that nobody's touching but them. So it's like that. Yeah, that is. Like, I want to go back and listen to that speech too now.
Well, because it also too, like what made me kind of understand that more was consciousness, and what let me know too was when you go back to What If, the difference between Thanos having the gauntlet and Ultron having the gauntlet was he isn't locked in. So he's not only using 10% of his brain, so he was able to unlock every type of equation and possibility and get to the Watcher. Thanos can't do that. So Thanos' logic is every organism that is taking from this universe, we need to be able to cut it in half so we can keep it here. Because one of the biggest things Ryan did miss, well, not going to say miss, but didn't really mention, like how you said, Deuce, they're using materials that's not taken from us. That sun. What did he use to make a sun underwater for his people to use? Wow. Yeah. And what is that made of? And it's like, yo, they really didn't dive into that. And I'm like, that's going to have some kind of major implication in the MCU.
You know what I find funny is how they became the water people. Somebody was, I'm telling you, man, this right here can heal us. This can save us. We're all sick. And then I want to see the post-production of them like, yeah, I fucked up. All right.
You want a confessional? Like an office?
So everybody
on the water now. I fucked up. My bad. I didn't carry the one.
My fault, y'all. But like, we got gills now, Takan. We got gills.
Hey, am I the only one who at that part of the movie thought about Mortal Kombat and that the blue guy in Mortal Kombat 11? Do y'all play Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
So yes, like when I saw that character, I was like, oh my god, he looks exactly like him. And the Talokan, I was like, yo. Yeah. But we know different origin stories, but that was it.
That was yeah. I definitely thought that
the most genius, beautiful, perfect scene of the movie when Okoye came home to try to talk to the queen, and the whole council sitting there watching like this.
Yo,
no need. You can relinquish your power of the Adorji tribe, and she was just like, why? My entire family.
Yo, I was not ready for that. That speech was for. Right. I was like, oh.
I thought she was talking to the world. I didn't know she was talking to her. I was like,
hey, and then she got petty. Last year, when Killmonger took the vote, you sided with him.
Yo, but she kept digging in too, because she was like, yo, I can go get her back. No. You could go to jail and go still visit your husband. I don't know where my daughter is. My whole family gone. Get the fuck out. But now this would make me ask questions too, though. That I was just like, I couldn't wait to get over here. Because, now I'd be thinking, one, does Wakanda have an unemployment program? Like,
hilarious.
And then two, now I got to know, like in Tupac's case, does Wakanda got a ghetto?
Man, that's a great question. Well, here's the thing. They showed us the ghetto at, was it Black Panther 1?
Probably no in Africa.
Well, yeah, right when they went before the forces, that's where they showed it.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, when they showed Chadwick talking to when they showed T'Challa talking to what's the name went.
Even before that, they showed us Wakanda's ghetto when they showed us Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Because remember, Claw was in Avengers 2. And they were like, yo, we in Wakanda. And they start showing the shipyard and all of that stuff.
Right.
That's the poor part.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And if you got like banned from Wakanda, I'll be hating my ass off.
Oh, I'd be mad.
So, y'all know it's a bunch of
you'll be Killmonger. That's why Killmonger was mad. He was like, you got me here in Compton. I was in Wakanda, dog.
Like, let me say,
he wasn't in Wakanda. His father was right. His father told him everything, but the king didn't even tell his people that he had a living nephew.
Yeah,
that was the crazy part.
But that's the crappy part too. Just like how you said, why everybody become Killmonger. Think about you growing up in that situation, not only knowing about this, but it's true. There is a city where there's technological advances where it's like, yo, we are free, and they left me here.
And won't even come get me.
And won't even come. Yeah, I'm killing everybody. I'm killing everybody.
I get it. Like, my pops did something, but I'm older now. Like, why do I gotta keep on paying for this? Come get me. Like,
but also, there's no way for him to have come talk to them.
True.
Without the way he did what he did. Now he went the long route, joined the military, became an assassin, and then killed their biggest enemy and brought them to him. Because without that, how would he have been able to do it? Even though I think he might have been, I don't know how they do the tattoo thing, because they say you get that tattoo if you're born in Wakanda, but at the same time, he wasn't born in Wakanda. So how did they do the tattoo?
Well, technically we don't know that because he said I could be wrong off of this. Didn't he say I needed to take you back there when he was speaking to him? So I think he may have been born there and then he was sent there and then he went back.
But here's the thing: this is where it doesn't add up. This is where the holes come in, because if he was born in Wakanda and raised in America, if he was born in Wakanda, that means the king, the queen, which is Angela Bassett, would have known about him.
Bars.
You know what I mean? So when he came back and was like, hey, auntie, and all of that shit, she wouldn't have denied him because she would have known about his existence. So the whole is that tattoo. So it's like, if he was born here, okay, explain this. But if he wasn't, then explain the tattoo. You know what I mean?
Well, what if the king? We don't know if the king could have been lying to Ramonda. Like, remember, he knew everything. Remember, because he was the one that had the spy there and everything. So, like, we don't know what the king was actually telling the queen. He might have told her, like, he was born, but like, we got rid of them. Whatever. Like, she probably thought like that bloodline was done. So to see him pop up, that's probably why she was like, oh shit! Like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? And he didn't even give her time to actually talk it out. He was just like, look, this is what we need to do. And she's like, wait, you just told me I'm your auntie. Like, nigga, give me some time. Let's talk about this first. Like, he was on bullshit ASAP. So it's like, it wasn't really even no talking or anything like that. Even to hash it out, just be like, damn, you know what? Kang was lying to me. I didn't even know, but let's bring you back in the fold. Like, they didn't even have that moment because of the shit.
Speaking of lip tattoos, I'm almost certain there's a nigga right now who got a Wakanda lip tattoo.
Of course. Black light cut it on and that thing make the little symbol. Oh yeah, you already know.
I'm definitely positive.
That's why I want to talk about though the greatest villain out of both of these two films. Like, Killmonger was great, Namor was great, but the biggest villain was Life. Life was fucking them up, horribly.
Man.
Like, yo, first we got that death, and then like we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Like, Angela Bassett came in with this like incredible performance, showing like really truly showing a woman who had the entire weight of a kingdom and a family on her shoulders, and how she's just trying to navigate through all that. And
had the arms to show like she been lifting that. Where we go?
Man,
when I saw them arms, I said, "Oh, she's definitely about to wear the suit." Them arms.
That's what I thought too, bro. I was like,
yeah.
"Yo, I thought she did. We had to see like a little thing of her using the suit."
And I was with it.
I was with it. I was with it. But it didn't happen. Instead, what they gave us is face down in a pool of water.
But you know what? It makes sense for the story for her to have died. One, even though I hated it, it makes sense for her to have not become the Black Panther, but she wanted to. When she was asking Shuri, how close are we to having found a substitute for the herb? Because she was definitely going to don it as the queen of Wakanda. Yes, but since Shuri hadn't found a solution, it's like by the time Namor came, she couldn't defend herself.
Yeah.
She saved the girl and died. And it's like, oh, and then the Killmonger scene, I don't care what you say, the back of that chair looked like her mother's hat. And that's why we thought
it did.
It was a great misdirect, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Did any of y'all pick up on this? And I thought this was done perfectly. Like, so Queen Ramonda, she had that speech when she was like, I lost everything, right? And then if we didn't get that end credit, well, I was like, dog, her biggest fear became Shuri's reality. Her reality in the movie was she lost her brother, her mom, she lost her whole family. Shuri had no family. And I was like, that was Queen Ramonda. That was her biggest thing that she was pained by and everything. And I was like, that was really done masterfully to me, because I was like, yeah, Shuri is now living what her mom would fear
even more. When Queen Ramonda said to her before Namor appeared, I have to tell you something about your brother. Bam, Namor. Yeah. So then when you see the end, you're like, that's what she was gonna say, because she asked a great question. She said, did my mother know? And she's like, yes, your mother knew.
Did y'all really was expecting Killmonger to come back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really wanted it. I really wanted him to come back.
That's what
in real life. I mean, I was fine.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed that they made it official that he died. I was kind of
give us that, man. Let him have his redemption of like, hey, I'm back. I'm going to be the new Black Panther.
But here's the thing that I will say, like how we talked about outside of the movies, though. This now gives the perfect setup to my other theory that Battle World is going to have something to take place with in the astral plane. Because I think that they're going to have to go through there. And like you said, since we don't have Chadwick, I don't know. I don't think the dude that played the father is still acting, I think because of health as well. You need a representation there for whatever's going to be needed for them to be guided through there and stuff. And so now that we know there's two people there, Michael B. Jordan, again, he might get his chance to don a Black Panther suit just because of where this battle might take. But it was good to see that, y'all do have a representation there in that after realm for Wakanda.
I don't think it'll go ancestral plane, because then you got too many questions about where Chadwick is, right? Or T'Challa, that character of T'Challa. Because of that, it's similar to them not doing the Iron Man thing. Like, we're like, yo, we can have him in a voice. No, then like it's like things like that are going to draw up too much. Like, you got to think this movie was set to pay homage to Chadwick and honor his legacy and to move the story forward. So if you do the ancestral plane and show Killmonger and the mother and a recast the father, if you don't recast T'Challa, it's like, what was this all for?
Well, no, they don't have to. So they don't have to recast the father or T'Challa, because remember in the first one when he first appeared in there, they were all Panthers. And then he turned into his father. So if you wanted to, you could show a Panther that you can say is a reputation to him, or you could just show them all in that tree right there. But again, too, like the ancestral plane is also showing those of who pop up to you that are representing you at the time. So those are the ones that choose to present themselves to you, which I would think her mother would present herself to her.
She didn't give a damn about her father. If you go back to part one, part one,
she ain't never mentioned this dude except for that the Great Western and sneakers. That was it.
She had a smile on when Chadwick came into the office the first time, and I'm like, y'all done it just now. She was like, "Hello, brother. Look up what that wicked going." I'm like,
they were doing the handshakes and they were like, hey,
right,
man.
Like, look what that meant for you.
I'm looking it up. The dude's still alive. It'd been dope to see the mom and the dad together, right?
Yeah, but I think he may have some health issues. I
Oh.
think that's why. Because like if you notice when he went not after Civil War in actual Wakanda, like you can kind of see. I think he may have a stroke or something.
Oh
like
boy.
that.
Okay.
But you can kind
Now-
of see it.
If they go comic book route, one way that they can bring back Killmonger, and I more so agree with CT about how it would just it's too much. But if they did want to bring him out, one of Black Panther's powers that he has is he can resurrect the dead, right? And I know they already played around with it a little bit, but with Shuri being like the technological science person, and now she's have a little bit of renewed faith in the Wakanda lore and everything that goes with it. Like, I mean, if they wanted to play around with that, they could give her that power to resurrect the dead and bring back Killmonger. But like I said, I'm more on CT's side of it. Like, I feel like that it would take too much from away.
It takes away. Like you never want to, as a writer, you never want to write yourself into a corner, right? Because now, if you open that door that she could bring people back from the dead, the bigger comic book audience is the first thing gonna think about is Iron Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. They brought him back. All right, let's go Iron Man. It's like, hey, or you bring back Killmonger, now bring back T'Challa and bring back the mother and the father and all the black. Like it becomes too much.
Hold up, I got you. With the recreated heart shaped herb with his temporary. Like we can do this, but it only is going to die off at a certain amount of time. And
Same answer.
And we
Still
bring
same questions.
We'll
Though.
bring Killmonger back, but then he died. Like we don't want that with T'Challa.
But again, what CT is saying is, if she has the power to bring people back, why would your first choice be Killmonger? Why not remember T'Challa? Like, why would you go Killmonger?
Like your immediate
Black Widow
first
shit.
T'Challa. I was waiting for you to mention her.
now we've completely undermined Endgame in Infinity War because we brought back half the Earth's population because she got the power to bring people back from the dead. It's like, all right, that movie didn't need to happen then because we got this Black Panther.
Right, and then you got what's her face Okoye saying it again. Where was she this whole time? And when she remembered that.
Hey, everybody's reaction in this movie was the most black reaction.
Yeah.
Because when the dude was like, "Wait, you want to go now?" Like he was like, "Wait, hold on, right now?" Like, hold on, like, and then like I said, when she was like, "Everything that I believed in is now like this." Is like everybody just had true natural black reactions to everything. Like, dog, like that had me in tears the whole movie.
You know what problem I had with the movie though? I just thought about is the third act when they had just flooded Wakanda, and then Namor was like, "I'm giving y'all a week."
Woo!
Right? And it's like, I'm gonna do this again. He gave him like a month and a half because they had a time to build Riri's outfit, the Ark of Noah.
The army, they had everything. I was like, there ain't no way y'all built all that in a week. There ain't no way in hell.
I was like, why aren't you watching them? You should have had spies like, okay, they building some shit. They're about to attack us.
Yeah, that trope right there of I'll give you a week is always interesting because here's my biggest problem. Are you ready for this?
Go for it.
Who the fuck taught Shuri how to fight? Let's go back. Now, Shuri, if she knew how to fight, she wouldn't have been taken. She wouldn't have needed this bodyguard. Well, I'll take that back because they even guarded T'Challa. But my point is, she was literally helpless. Like people were coming up to her and she was like, like you don't know what to do. So that's not the mark of a fighter. And then she just becomes the Black Panther and just knows how to fight. They didn't even show a training montage. They didn't show her fighting with any of the Dora Milaje. That part didn't make sense to me.
Look, we could even say let's bypass the fight. Who taught you to cut these backflips off of boats like that and just you just been claw practicing? You just was claw ready. You just knew how to just slide on shit. You just knew how to do all that already.
Hour two. Not even like week 2. Hour 2.
She was out here ready. Like I'm like, what? Okay.
Now this is something that Will and Dion said in the movie theater that this movie would have been incredible as a Disney Plus series.
Yes, because I forgot it was about Black Panther.
That was fine.
Yeah, it's called Black Panther. Wakanda Forever. I mean, Wakanda Black Panther. I was like, man, I forgot this was about Black Panther. Yeah,
when they brought back the heart-shaped herb thing and it got to 100%, I was like, oh, I forgot that this was this was about. I forgot that suit got to come up.
Yeah, I was like, stretch this mug out 10 episodes. We could have fell in love with Namor and the world, both worlds, Riri. It would have been a nice little tribute.
But I will say, I think because they did say that they were going to make a Wakanda series, and I think it might focus on like the Dora Milaje and more like the politics of it happening. And so if that is the case, Wakanda Forever was a great setup for us to do that, because like I said, I don't think we need a third movie right now. The only way I now see a movie happening for Wakanda is a few years in past, T'Challa's son has to come back and ascend the throne. And then this could be that T'Challa that we like that went to America that, ain't a part of Wakanda, that version of Black Panther that has like the American accent and then goes back home to find out like, he has to ascend as king, and he has that right because he got to challenge whoever the king is, which most likely will be M'Baku.
Well, what they did with the ending of that movie I thought was dope is that they really bought themselves some time, right? Because what they did was they reset the hype for who's going to be Black Panther, right? For the longest, it was just recast. So then they gave us this kid who we know is not going to eventually be the next the kid is not going to be the next Black Panther, but it gives us a good 6, 7, 8 more years to say, okay, we're going to get some time away from the T'Challa that we've known and loved, but we're going to get a new T'Challa, which is T'Challa's son. And now we're going to throughout every young Black actor is going to be like, ooh, that may be a good person. Like, it's now back to recreating that hype of, ooh, we make like who's going to be the next grown T'Challa. And
yes and no, because as I told Dion, now what that opened up was you have now different T'Challa variants.
Oh yeah.
Now they still can go on this whole we're gonna recast T'Challa. Like we can see a new T'Challa in the next whatever big film. Like Quantumania can show us a new T'Challa in Kang's universe that he comes from, and they casted him as that. So they did open it up to where we can now be comfortable with seeing that, and to where we don't have to take over Chadwick's legacy.
What and like the
love interest of Storm.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That was going to be my next point. What they're going to do, and this, I think, this kind of solidified. We're going to get younger X-Men because that T'Challa is going to be the T'Challa that marries Storm. I guarantee you it, and it's going to be a younger Storm. We're going to see younger X-Men, not the already established. I think when they start introducing X-Men in the MCU, this is going to be how to tie in a younger version of it.
Here's the thing. This is what another thing that happened with that video. Quantumania. Oh, I hate to do this because we did this with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
We said we hope that they were going to do X, Y, and Z and introduce this person and that person and show this actor and show that actor. And from what we've seen, we've gotten our hopes up a lot of times, and Kevin Feige has met our hopes a lot of times, but a lot of times he hasn't. So my fear is what Deuces said, is that we're going to have really young X-Men, and by the time we get to Quantumania, that something happens with the time that speeds things up, but also keeps them in present day, to where then we'll have adult or older versions of these characters, to where now it makes sense for us to have these adult X-Men, or have the X-Men kind of like, okay, just to give this reference, and I hate to do this every podcast I ever do, but there was an episode of Power Rangers where they lost their powers. They were filming the movie, hilarious, the guy, and they were aged down, right? They were kids, and then they got aged up, and now here we are. So I feel like it's a possibility for them to age up everybody and keep them in present day, though. Like, oh my goodness, look how you've grown type thing, even if it's just that solid to show Professor X and Magneto and everybody to get the story together. Because I really don't know how they would introduce the X-Men having been here the entire time without helping with Thanos, and how they would do it to where they're just here. So many X-Men, there are so many mutants.
Right.
That one, CT, don't ever stop doing Power Ranger references.
Thank you, brother.
You always keep doing those.
God bless.
This is why it still goes back to me saying X-Men are gonna have to be introduced in another Earth, like 838. Yeah, 838 has got to be where these X-Men been at and stuff like that, and like that's where that happened. And the reason why too, like even going back to like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, talking about Rachel's character and how she's this whole expert on this stuff. It's like So that means to me that there are other people in universes that are doing this. Even like the TVA, I feel like the TVA knows what mutants are. And so there has to be a universe where mutants already exist, and that's going to have to be the incursion of where that happens. Once we start breaking and messing up fabrics of time now, it's like that's what's going to be the cross stream. And but like how you just said, CT, to your point, that may be what combines us to get the story we're looking for. So we could have an older Charles and Magneto slip into our 616, and then he puts together that first class of mutants and starts being able to figure out what's going on and stuff with them. And then plus whoever else landed in there that's from their side, like the Juggernaut can fall in there, Apocalypse, whatever. But again, happening because of this incursion, because like you said, they've now made it more and more unlikely that there's a Charles Xavier and a Magneto around that knows these mutants, that's been keeping this mutants, and there's no point of who's been keeping this silent.
But that's the thing. They introduced in Doctor Strange, because I keep taking away credit by saying Miss Marvel and now Namor. They introduced mutants and Fantastic Four in Doctor Strange by the Illuminati, by different planets, not different planets, different universes. So if that's the case, mutants already exist in those universes. So the only way to get them to exist in our universe is a time jump and or like you said, an incursion to where somehow their universes implode onto ours. Just like that was one of the most brilliant things the CW DC verse ever did, was implode all of their universes into one Earth. So where now every Earth had the Superman and the Supergirl and all these superheroes and villains. The problem with that becomes the variance. So it's like Kevin Feige is brilliant. I just hope to see it done properly with these mutants, and he's given us no reason to think that it wouldn't be so far.
See, the thing is, it can happen with the universes, with 616 and the 818. 818? 838.
It's definitely not the 818.
It happened, but they all have an origin story. You can't just skip past the fact that, Apocalypse been here, the childhood of Magneto. Like, you can't skip past it. We can definitely get them to the Earth, but the problem is like, we want to hear more about your life, how you guys are raised, why Jubilee's teenage years, how Rogue got her powers.
But you know what, too? Hear me out.
Here we go. It's gonna be the soundbite for Instagram.
I think they gonna give us that with X-Men 97. I think X-Men 97 is that story, and it's gonna show us how we are gonna get X-Men in the MCU. Because now that I've seen them combining Spider-Man with, dang it, I can't say it because CT. But with them confirming their next Spider-Man joint, that also confirms to me that cartoons can have relevancy in this MCU.
What if?
Yeah. So I would think, man, and the thing is too, they said they were bringing it back, but they didn't say for how long. And they say they were picking up after a certain point, the end of that first one. So it's like, maybe this is telling us a story of one of those universes that have these X-Men.
Now, quick question. X-Men 97, because I didn't really look deep into it. Is it called X-Men 97 because the setting is going to be placed in 1997?
That was the last episode, right? Yeah, in 97.
Okay, I was just wondering because I was saying then that predates is that'll be around Captain Marvel time. So that I'm just wondering how it falls place in the MCU. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, Captain Marvel was what year?
It was
that was
late
90. That was like 93, right?
91.
91 or early.
Yeah, 91. I think 91.
Okay, so if it was 91 when she left the planet, then that would make sense for the X-Men not to even know about her.
Yeah. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Wait.
95. Captain Marvel.
No, not only that. Well, no, she would have had to have come back, but then no, that don't make sense because Rogue, depending on what Rogue it is, because Rogue is the factor in that. Because Rogue gets her powers from Miss Marvel. She almost killed Miss Marvel, and that's how she got her powers.
And the Marvel's coming up. Yeah,
in the comic book, she touches Miss Marvel, damn near kills her. That's how we get the flight.
Wait, Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel?
I think it's Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is who she do because Carol does not like Rogue. Like when she be seeing Rogue, it'd be almost on sight. She almost killed her. Yeah, like
I didn't know that either.
She was 2 minutes from death.
That's the only reason I know about Miss Marvel. I mean Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
because I remember Rogue sucked the hell out of her in Paul's, and sucked all her powers out. And
how did she do it? Like what conflict did they have?
She needed help, and so normally what they did was they'll let Rogue touch somebody to give her powers for a second. So like
she didn't let go.
Yeah, she didn't let go. So like if Cyclops was down, she would touch him real quick to get his laser eyes to shoot somebody to where it wouldn't affect him. But with Captain Marvel, she did not let her go, and she held on to her till she was like an inch of her life and took all of her power. And
like Parasite.
Yeah. So that's what she learned how to super strength. Yeah,
that'll make me have all sight.
No, I know why Rogue does things. I just didn't know why I didn't know what conflict she had with Captain Marvel in the first place for that to happen.
So then, like I said, with Captain Marvel taking place in '95, and then if this X-Men series is supposed to be connected and be in X-Men '97, it could have some connection.
But here's the thing, Rogue. So correct me if I'm wrong. By what you're saying, Rogue only has powers because of Captain Marvel. So I know that when Rogue touches anybody, she can assume their abilities. Yeah. But does she have any without, like, does she have a base of any powers?
The basis of her base was the sucking of the powers. When she took Captain Marvel's powers, flight and super strength stayed with her.
Got it.
That's the ones that stuck around with her. So like now, like how you said, if she touched someone, she'll gain them for a moment. But the ones she stick with is those abilities and super strength.
I remember in the cartoon, it was like, "Let go, Rogue." She's like, "I can't."
Yeah, she was under some control or some stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow,
you're killing her.
Yeah, because they were friends. They were cool with each other.
I'm about to start watching X-Men on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
so here's the thing. That makes sense because when I watched all the X-Men movies from 2000 forward, Rogue couldn't fly.
Yeah.
Which is Anna Paquin. Yeah. She couldn't fly and she didn't have the super strength. All she could do is the hand thing. And it might have had something to do with the fact that that Fox didn't own the copyright of Captain Marvel, which is her origin story, pretty much for what y'all are saying.
Yeah. It's when she's, especially when she's in the X-Men, and so so it's like that also can tie in too and stuff. But then again, it's like how you said though, if they come back young, that's another way that how if they don't use that story just yet with grown folks and they come in with new, that's still on the table. Because then that's how you can exit out Captain Marvel to where Miss Marvel takes over, and then Rambo's character can take over because Rogue basically sucks the life out of Captain Marvel and takes her powers.
Also, I read it up real quick. It was Mystique. Mystique was the one that was controlling her during that time when she was trying to take Captain Marvel's powers.
Gotcha.
How does she have? She has mind control, Mystique.
I didn't. They didn't get it deep.
It was some amulet. I think she had. It was like a little brooch that she had. Yeah, she was. Because Mystique is her mom. And then I think also she's Nightcrawler.
Wait, Mystique is Rogue's mother.
She grew up with her. She raised her.
Okay, raised mother is different though.
Yeah, no, because they always I'm not gonna confirm it on here because I'm not too sure, but supposedly Mystique is Rogue and Nightcrawler's mother.
But they never make. Do they make mention in the cartoon that Rogue and Nightcrawler are brother and sister?
No, they don't. And that's the thing.
Nightcrawler is blue, so that's definitely her son. But Rogue is not her birth daughter.
No, I think she either portrayed somebody else and raised her basically, and raised her.
I feel like I'm right.
I think so though. I think that is actually might be her blood daughter, but I know they have mentioned that being her child.
Yeah.
So they said that from what I'm reading, they said in the comics it was originally going to be revealed that Mystique, that Rogue was Mystique's actual daughter, but for whatever reason that run didn't complete or they never got to it, and so the reveal never happened. But everything was leading up to it of the reveal. They just never revealed it.
But they did reveal it in a cartoon series called X-Men Evolution. So the one that actually had Storm's kid, the one that had Storm's kid, the one that could shoot the stuff out of his arms, they did actually do a story where both of them were Mystique's children.
It's too many relatives in X-Men, man. Like Charles Xavier and Juggernaut are like half brothers. It's like I hate these stories, man. Like how y'all connect?
It's
but Rose makes sense though, because hers is a manipulating gene, so it's kind of almost technically the same as Mystique's. Mystique has to have physical contact with you to turn into you. It's the same concept. She just does it with powers instead of actual physical appearance.
Yeah,
that's a terrible power, by the way.
You're
a rogue. You be like, you try to run up to the person to get the powers.
Yo, and then the fact that the original Fox movies showed the worst way to have that power is when you fucking somebody, and it's just
Fox was on one with that one. It was like, why reveal it during this moment? Out of all the moments you could have revealed it.
I'm like, yo, that chick ain't gonna never be right no more.
You're gonna go there.
Out of all characters, I was like, let's focus on Rogue as the main character. That's a terrible power to have.
Opener. Team fucking and then go into a brain spasm. Show credits, X-Men.
It works in every horror movie. Let's do it in the X-Men movie.
Let's just do it here. Let's start off the gate.
Even in the cartoon, Jubilee's powers was trash. She had firework powers.
Every day is the 4th of July, fucking with her.
Yo, and they didn't even give her a good name. Like they could have said, yo, like pyrokinetics, and then it was like, nah, I shoot fireworks. Like, and I was just like, there's something low-key racist about this. This is a distraction. Because did y'all know she was Asian?
Yeah.
In the cartoon? I didn't know that. I thought that was a white girl dressed like cyberpunk, and then they was like, no, that's an Asian. And I was like, something seems racist about this.
It's very, her powers are very just annoying. Like they're very Jubilee's powers are a distraction. And then you go back to the other stuff. Jubilee, hit her with your claws.
It's a jubilation. It's a
jubilation.
Look, give us fireworks at 17, and that's gonna be a diversion for us to get out.
You hear like Gambler, like, who do you got me on the team? We got Jubilation and we got Rogue. Fuck. The two people are the most.
The two people we can't do anything. Here's the thing though. So Black Panther, phenomenal. I love the fact that he has a son with the exact same name to continue the legacy. That stayed true to what Kevin Feige said, that T'Challa won't be recast in the 616 universe. And that's not a recast. That is a son, and bam, he's going to be the Panther. They're going to definitely move time around. I don't know how in Quantumania, because I only watched 20 seconds of that trailer, and I had to close my ears and close my eyes because I'm like, all right, I get the plot of the movie. I don't want to see too much because I'm going to remember it. Looking at it, go ahead.
No. Matter of fact, no. You finish first. My fault. No, because it's time what you're saying.
So seeing it, it's like Black Panther set up so much and gave us so much. It's like they're really putting a lot of energy into Young Avengers and Thunderbolts, bro.
Yes,
a lot.
That and you know what? Up until this movie, I really didn't have much care for the Thunderbolts. Like I knew they was coming and I wasn't, but now knowing like, oh, it's like you said, we can't trust on white folks. Like I'm like, oh, they about to really get the fucking with Wakanda, fucking with Namor and his people. I'm like, all right, I see where the Thunderbolts are going now. Now I'm heavily interested in the Thunderbolts.
It's very Amanda Waller Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
As far as them having Julia Louis-Dreyfus against a Viola Davis and a Suicide Squad, this is a much more kid-friendly Suicide Squad. And unfortunately, none of these characters am I in love with. Like that aspect feels, I mean, outside of General Ross, that story feels very TV movie-ish.
Oh yeah.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but it does give off very like A-Team type of vibes.
Yeah.
Like it does give.
The good thing is we already know their origin story, so it doesn't really, we gotta know all that. We can get right to it.
DC Legends of Tomorrow is what I was gonna say. It feels very
way better. Yeah, way better. So,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That gives room though to do something Suicide Squad didn't do and make a big shakeup in the MCU because you wouldn't see that coming. And so I think that's something that can really be taken away from there. And then one thing I also thought about after seeing Quantumania, this may be the first time where we're going to see our characters in different times. Like even in watching Quantumania, I don't think Ant-Man's going to come back to 2025 our time. I think he's going to wind, because again, like they keep talking about these branches, these things separating. It's too much of you calling it the multiverse saga, which makes me think that they're not going to. And then too, like your favorite movie, No Way Home, there might be something to that. I think we finna see different planes of these places throughout this next
mad
line.
Disrespectful to recast all these people that's still on Earth.
What? No, you don't have to, because remember, time ain't linear. Yeah. So while what's happening and like what we think might be Ant-Man's 2047, our 2025 is happening at the same time. Because remember, when Doctor Strange went to 838, they were advanced in years already. Like their war been happened. That stuff been done. Like they got a whole new utopia. So they way past our time. So
Doctor Strange is 2028
universes as well.
Huh?
Can Quantum Manium switch universes as well?
Well, remember they have those time vortexes, and so that's the thing too. Like she said, don't get lost in a time vortex because we may not be able to bring you back. And I think that's what's going to involve the TVA. I think that's what's going to involve us coming across with Loki and where Kang's real plan is, because of the fact that this is going to take place everywhere. You know, this is now happening at the same time.
You know how they did Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, when they had that really quick villain in the beginning? It'd be a nice little tribute. They had Yellow Jacket just really quick in there just to kill him off real quick.
Man, let me tell you something. Marvel has shown that they don't care about no villains that didn't pop. And also, every Marvel villain is apparently a good guy because they all get their origin story and they make you care about them. And every villain becomes one of those people that you don't really care to see fight. That's why Loki was that's why they booked Loki in everything, because he was the one true complicated character that was a villain that then turned over a new leaf. But he had done so much damage already that, you got to still label him as a villain until the TVA.
Yeah. But also, too, I think we may see Yellow Jacket again.
Because he was in there. He got something to the...
I think he's MODOK. I think that's what... I think he's MODOK now. Because like they said, like I think when he went to that realm, he got mutated and stuff like that. And you saw when he was like shrinking and stuff like this again. Wow. We saw that here in this side. So when you go into the quantum realm, what does he look like there? Ooh, and then again, too...
Tell me a little bit more, Doc. Tell me a little bit more about this.
And then like Kang's technology is down there, his mind, Kang's mind. I would not be surprised if MODOK is one of the people helping him, or that part I saw when you remember. You don't watch. Well, you saw this part in the trailer when you saw that shooting star come across, and that person that was sitting there watching it come down. Everybody keeps thinking that's Kang. That might be MODOK. I mean, Yellow Jacket when he first got there.
Oh,
did y'all hear about the vibranium theory about how important it is to everything moving forward?
Yeah.
So that theory. So because they were saying it was like the Celestials, when they send their seed and everything like that, there was like they send this seed to everywhere, and for vibranium to be such an important metal, and the Celestials potentially are made from vibranium. There was like the world. Earth should not have discovered vibranium, because if they're sending these seeds everywhere, and why hasn't any other planet or universe discovered vibranium? Why was it only Wakanda and Namor and his people, right? And so the theory is that first universal war was whatever the ships were made of, whatever it was, whatever destruction it had. The reason why there was so many meteors that's falling on Earth and it's shooting out is the way it was, is that these are vibranium ships. Vibranium because of the technology, because of the way that it's built, because of the way that it looks. And so they're saying that Kang he survived the last universal war and when he wasn't supposed to. And the machine that he's building, or the tech that he's looking for, it may be because of he's trying to build everything out of vibranium and everything like that.
Yep, I can see that, but nothing too. I like. I agree with you. But I can also see that being tied back into when he was like a pharaoh. I forget. I can't remember the full name right now. But it was like when he was a pharaoh king, and that could have been at the time when one of those wars happened, and it's happening with them ships. And like you say, it crashed there because, like they said, everything is being set up by this guy. So there's no piece that was put here that he didn't think of. And that's why it's like the most thing that y'all will be able to beat him is by him defeating himself. But I do think what's going to come into play with Vibranium even more too is from us as a people using it. Because like you just said, we're not supposed to use that. So I think Vibranium may also be tied into how Dr. Doom gets his disease and starts turning metal. By metal, because remember they're using nanites too, so it's like trying to use that technology and not using it right. Then you had these other, because again too, you had these other pieces of tech, like you had the Chitauri tech. You even still have other things that were made from the Mind Stone, from the the Tesseract, the stuff that we didn't see that was used. So it's like we don't know what technology Dr. Doom has his hands on or what they're looking to build, because that's what makes me feel like it has to be Doom being tied in with Reed and that machine. I feel like Riri made that machine. Reed thought this was great for like research and stuff like that on the project that Doom got them working on. And what they didn't know was Doom is basically trying to find this stuff to be able to create weapons.
Yeah, whoever was selling it, whoever that person is going to be major. That's why I'm assuming it's Doom, like, because it was like, so whoever was doing that, like they already built up the lore of this person. Like, okay, this person, the fact that that there's other vibranium out there and that you're actively searching it and that you found it in the water is like, who is this person that has this vast of knowledge to know where to search, how to search, what to look for, and everything? Like, whoever that person is going to be a big problem in the MCU. Yep.
Man, this has been a fire ass episode.
This has.
Man, y'all blew my mind.
But before we close out, I do have a segment in, like, I want to always name, like, especially when we talk about movies like these, I want to always get y'all opinion on at least 3 standout things. So one, in Wakanda Forever, the MVP, who would y'all consider to be the MVP of Wakanda Forever?
Angela Bassett. She got to get all the awards from me.
I'm
man. I was like,
as far as most moving performance, I'm with that. Angela Bassett is MVP for me because she set the tone from the beginning to her untimely demise. Like, she really set the tone of what this whole movie and everything was going to be. So I give her the MVP.
I felt so when she said no, she needs to stay here. She needs to kind of like figure things out. No, let her come on with me. We need to get her out the Wakanda. We have a little vacation and we'll figure this out. And then she's like, you still lost my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, dude, man, I was like, man, I can imagine how she feels right now.
Yeah.
Man.
MVP is definitely Angela Bassett with an honorable mention to Denai Guerrero. I mean, how do I say it? Denai Guerrero.
I'm gonna go with
Okoye. I'm gonna go Okoye because that's the one I know how to say.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna say you said it right.
Honorable mention, but she was still acting off of Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett did set the tone. I agree with you there. Angela Bassett also let us know that she was not to be trifled with from the very beginning. And when she brought them soldiers in by giving a signal, like, these are yours, and they couldn't say shit. You know what I mean? And like, to where she was so powerful, I wanted to see her be Black Panther. We all know she's in shape enough to do it, but when you see Angela Bassett do this role and you see everything that she's done, they leaned on her a lot because we didn't get that from her the first movie. First movie, she was more so a smaller character. And it's like she had to remind everybody, oh yeah, just in case you didn't know, I'm Angela motherfucking Bassett.
Exactly. She put her, like, this was one of those moments where it's like, when you see somebody that you know can act and when they're in the movie, you're like, okay, like we know the chop.
Yeah.
Like, this movie, she definitely said, oh, let me show y'all why I'm who I am and bring it to this Marvel movie for y'all. Like, I agree with you on that.
And you're right. Denai definitely had that glossy look in her eyes, like, but this is all I know. She's like, don't strip this from me. She's like, this is my life.
Apparently, she's getting a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, that's what the Wakanda series is supposed to be focused on.
So it's like when you look at Denai Guerrero, man, geez Louise. She's also Viola Davis's daughter. I need them to work together and do something.
Right.
They look too much alike, bro.
They do.
Something, bro. I was surprised she wasn't in Woman King. Like, I was like, that's the only person missing in this.
Man.
Yeah.
But when you look at for what y'all said about Woman King, these are two similar movies as far as how the Dora Milaje and the Woman King army was. But dude, the women in this movie killed it. And you talking to somebody, this is another thing I'll give them a round of applause for. This movie was not the typical trope of I'm tough because I'm a girl, and that always turns audiences off. It's like, just write a good story, get the actors to act it perfectly, and it will come across as strong, powerful, and it'll connect. That's why we like the movie Salt with Angelina Jolie, Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. There are so many films where you get a chance to see Kill Bill, led by Uma Thurman. Like, these are
Mad
characters.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Mad Max.
No, what's the one you said?
A Long Kiss Goodnight.
A Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah, but she wasn't a star. Tom Hardy was a star.
No, he was not.
Yeah, he was. He's Mad Max.
Yeah, but he was kidnapped the entire movie. Charlize Theron was trying to save him the whole time.
Yeah,
but
I don't care if something wins an award or not. Just because it wins an award, don't make it good. You understand?
But she was about to get her own movie, so that would, like, if she'd have got it, like how you say, then to your point, it would have been included in this.
Yeah,
but she wasn't the star of it.
This movie thrust women into such a powerful story that not one time looking at that movie that I say, oh, here come the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was that powerful and well done.
And to your point, CT, they did it right off the bat, because that opening scene with Angela Bassett, when she said, y'all think we weak, right? And she didn't say, y'all think we weak because we got a whole bunch of women. She was like, y'all just think we weak because the Black Panther is not here. But no, we still got the Dora Milaje, and they came through. Like I said, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't girl power. It was like, nah, we just beat you as fuck.
Also, it goes to show how weak the men of Wakanda are, because they got an all-woman army taking care of everything. And it shows, like, this is the last part about this. Shout out to the women, not only because I know that there are several girls and boys that were watching this and saw themselves in some character in this film, but also I love that they didn't do a whole bunch of catchy theme phrases like, oh, you're strong. Yeah, because women are strong. It's like, thank God that none of that happened during the movie. And it showed that a man can write for strong women, as opposed to it having to be the age-old thing saying, oh, it's always men talking about women. Don't know man, don't know woman. Well, apparently this man knew exactly how to write these women.
Yeah, it wasn't no cliche like how you said, like Deuce said. You didn't have that point where, like how they had an end game and stuff like that. It was like, I'll take it from here. Then all the women were, we got her back. It's like, I didn't need that. It's like, what? Like, this war. Somebody that shot y'all right now doing all that. What the fuck y'all doing?
Then the girl from Guardians to cut you off, the one with the antlers that does the emotions. Why was she in the front of the group? Who are you? You ain't got time to touch nobody.
And the way she was standing there, just wait. Why am I here? Wait a minute.
Just walking like you about to kill some shit.
I lost my group, but I lost my group. That's what she looked like. But it was like these moments you saw it as human beings being human beings. Yep. Like when you saw the Dora Milaje come in, you didn't think just women. It wasn't the first thing of like these women. It's like, oh shit, they finna fuck y'all up, bro. That's all you thought of. Oh shit.
You look at them at the same level as the Jabari tribe. Like when you see like the tribes in it, you just like, all right, Jabari tribe, they beastie, they just like savages. But the Dora Milaje, they like the skillful tactician group. Like you're not equating them to men and women. You're just looking at it like a tribe. It's like the Navy, the Army, the Air Force. Like you're just looking at it as factions, and that's why it's done so well.
If M'Baku gets that heart-shaped or herb, it's a wrap. He was strong without it. So if he get that shit, bro, he throwing it across the room.
So I got a question though, and I just like I don't know if this would be shown or if this would happen, but so M'Baku is technically the great ape, and the way he's drawn in the comics is a white ape. It's this big ass white ape. So it's just like if he had the heart-shaped herb, would you start to see that stuff come out?
Start to see what stuff come out.
Like
him
would you
becoming
start
an 8.
him becoming an 8?
So let me ask y'all this: as I asked that question, and all three of y'all talked, do you think I heard any of that shit?
I was like, do you think he might start developing the characteristics of an ape?
Oh, even more than the grunting and all the stuff he's already doing.
Yeah, because that's what made me think like, yo, like he is technically the great ape, and it's just like that's what Richard. Yeah, so it's like, would he start getting bigger? Would he start getting a little bit more because of him eating that? Like, would he be the size of the Hulk now after eating that?
These are great questions.
Yeah,
I just want to see how he's gonna move as the king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
You know what they're gonna do? I promise you.
What?
They do a Dorja Milaje. Was it Milaje?
Dora
Milaje.
You made me forget it. Shit. I thought it was Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
If they do that, they're gonna have. If they do a series, there's gonna be a guy who's gonna try to be a part of the group. Like, hey, why can I be a part of it? They're gonna do something like that. Watch. They'll be like, hey man, this is a girls group, and they'll be like, hey, they need men need representation to be a part of girls groups. They're gonna do something like that. I can't.
Here's one other hole that I
upset.
realized watching the movie. They kept calling Shuri princess even after Angela Bassett's character died. Yeah. And I'm like, she's the queen now.
I had a conversation about that with my brother about this. So I think that has something to do with age. I think she can't ascend to the throne until she is of age.
How old is she?
I don't think she's old enough to become queen yet. And so, and that's the thing too. I think like you have to go through a certain everything for that to happen. Because, and then too, also what made me think of that is I don't think she has full ascension to the throne because the rightful heir to the throne is T'Challa. It only went back to the queen because T'Challa died.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so now M'Baku's the king right now, right?
Yeah, but and that's why he had to go challenge for it. So they made him temporary king because they were in his domain.
He about to fight Shuri for the throne.
No, we don't know who he had to fight because remember at the end he got out. He said, "I'm challenging for the throne." So nobody may have challenged him.
So I had a different interpretation of it. So the way I thought about it was, even in Black Panther, T'Challa wasn't the king until his dad died. So T'Challa was just a protector of Wakanda. So I assumed that Shuri was following his footsteps, and I just want to be the protector. I don't want to be the king. And him saying I challenge was more so saying, look, I'm king unless somebody challenge me. I'm challenging, and if somebody was to step up, they would go. But if nobody steps up, he's king. So that was my interpretation of that moment.
Yeah, but I think also too that goes back to now. It makes me even now more think that M'Baku turning into more of an ape can happen because, like how you said, Shuri could have the power to bring people back from the dead. So I think this heart-shaped herb does give each person a different type of power when they get it. And then at one point, I think T'Challa's family is the one that started fusing protector and king together. I think his father and then his father before him started becoming both protector and king because there is one version where of a Black Panther. I don't know. I think it's his dad. I think T'Challa's dad can actually have the head of a panther at one point. Oh. Like there's one that like he'll actually have a panther head and will like bite people's heads off and stuff like that. And so so I was like, so I think it does affect them all differently. So there's also that to be there. But I think like the hierarchy for like that royal lineage and stuff like that, like how that process goes, I think that is something that we do need to see more thoroughly explained. Because like how you said, CT, it was awkward that they kept calling her princess.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is just like she isn't of age yet. Because even at that point, like they had said, like he had said to her, I thought I was a child that scoffed at traditions, and like how M'Baku told us, like after everything you've been through, you ain't no child.
Yeah, you ain't no child no more.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
But that makes me wondering too, like how old was she when Black Panther was out? Because if that's the case, was she 13 at that time? So if 5 years passed, that just makes her 18.
True. So
she still may not be of full age to be able to ascend to the throne yet.
So as of last year, they said she was 31. And as far as 2021 in the cinematic universe, she was 31. So that means so she will be 32 now. So at that time, when
who was 32?
Shuri.
Ain't no damn way she was 30 years old.
I'm just letting you know what they
fucking
say.
Yo.
I just looked it up.
Then how old was T'Challa?
They going by real life ages.
They got to be real life. They got to be how old she is.
I take it back. That website. This is a better site. So during Black Panther,
Your credibility,
she was 16.
That's too late, brother. You went too deep.
Yeah.
I'm like 31. Wait a minute. No.
Under control.
No, so they said that during Black Panther 1, she was 16. So now she should be 19, 20.
Okay, I can accept that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can definitely accept that. So one more would be who, like, you know, we've talked about it now. So the next one was going to be who was the six man forward, but I think we had already kind of jumped on that with M'Baku, the Dora Milaje, and just the women on Wakanda were definitely there to continue to keep up with this movie. And then, like I said, Angela Bassett being the MVP, I think she helped elevate all of them to be there. And then just before we get out of here, just your favorite moment out of the entire movie. Just your favorite, just like that was it.
Oh shit, she got an Aramis.
That's mine.
Definitely.
That's mine.
Without question, bro.
Just to pick another one outside of that one, M'Baku, Winston Duke's improvised line, because that bald-headed demon line, I cracked up so hard. And they said that was not in the script. He improvised that.
Who did he call a bald-headed demon?
He called Okoye bald-headed demon.
Oh,
because they was arguing.
He said, "You bald-headed." For this. And I said, that was hilarious.
That's the stuff I can't wait to see, though. Like the dialogue between Wakandans. We haven't seen that yet. We see like little glimpses of it. Like even when Shuri went to go with Okoye to the school, and even how they was talking about iPhones and stuff like that. Like their dialogue is so interesting on how they act and stuff. And it's just like, yo, I can't wait to see more of that in a regular basis. Not just, you know, like we on high alert with the kingdom and stuff. Like I want to hear like y'all regular day-to-day conversations y'all have with each other.
very
also,
true.
when she talking about the makeup on her hair, it's like, is my makeup bad? Like, yeah, you
I told you it didn't match. She like, you're fine. It's fine.
That was great because it was a callback to the first movie.
Yeah, she didn't like the wig the first time, so maybe I should.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. But yo, man, I think that was a great way to go ahead and end off this fantastic episode of Wakanda Forever edition of Straight Out of a Comic Book, man. I want to thank my guests, as always, Young Deuce, CT, and Dion for coming through. And we want to know from y'all in the comments below, what was your favorite moment in Wakanda Forever? Who did you think was the MVP of this besides Angela Bassett? You know, you can still write Angela Bassett, but in case you had somebody else, let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video to my channel. And then, you know, to end this off, we're going to give a moment of silence and a Wakanda Forever, man, to the late and great Chadwick Boseman. May you rest in peace, and thank you for giving us such an incredible role. And we will catch you next time.
Ow! I'm sorry, moment of silence.
Yeah, I lack.
Yeah.